When I arrived at daycare, the same old mom friend spotted me and started with their sarcastic remarks as usual. "Oh, your husband's with you today? He must have a lot of free time on his hands." "I live in a different world than you low-income people. It's truly unpleasant to see people like you." That's when the principal came over with a pale face, but her harassment wouldn't stop, even with the principal's intervention. "Why is someone like her at this daycare? I want her to leave." My husband calmly took out his business card and greeted her respectfully. "My wife and daughter are always in your care." The woman hastily accepted the business card and fled the scene. "My name is Matilda. I live happily with my kind husband and 3-year-old daughter. I met my husband when I was a college student. We were both in the business department and had many overlapping classes, and we naturally became friends. I never understood how I became friends with him, as he was always cheerful and popular with everyone. I was plain looking and not good at speaking in public, so I never thought I'd be the type of person to get along with him. Whenever I said this, he would gently tell me, "You can have more confidence in yourself." His words helped me many times, and even a shy person like me made wonderful friends and enjoyed my college life. Gradually, he became a significant presence in my life. It probably started as admiration, but it slowly turned into affection. Unbelievably, he had feelings for me too. We began dating in our sophomore year and started living together 3 years into our working lives. From that time, I began to feel, I want to be with this person forever. So we rented a slightly larger, beautiful room when we moved in together. The time we spent discussing things like sunlight, kitchen positions, and furniture designs was also a lot of fun, and I still remember it occasionally. Later, we got married, and were blessed with a beloved daughter 2 years after. Our daughter is very active and good at communicating with other children, even at a young age. She can invite various children to play together. As I said earlier, I'm shy, so she probably takes after her father. Both my daughter and husband have beautiful smiles, and people naturally gather around them. My husband joined his father's company, and now he's taken over as CEO. At first, people questioned if he got the job through connections, and it was tough for him. But watching his honest and constant effort, people's perceptions of him gradually changed. His wonderful traits, like talking to everyone without discrimination and always being considerate of those around him, have remained the same since we met in college. Even as his position changed, my husband's attitude never did. That's why he's admired by everyone at the company, always at the center of it all, a reflection of our daughter. I love and respect both of them so much. But what about me? I'm trying my best, but I can't seem to gain confidence and end up feeling anxious. And it shows on my face. My husband and daughter always seem to sense when I'm feeling down and encourage me. Words from my husband like, "You can have more confidence in yourself," or my daughter's, "I love you, Mom," have been my salvation. When my daughter started going to daycare, the mothers living nearby, who had children of the same age, taught me various things. Thanks to them, even shy me was blessed with mom friends at daycare. We've been living in the same place since we moved in together, but one day, because of my husband's situation, we had to move, and our daughter had to go to a new daycare. It's sad to leave this town where we have so many good friends, but it can't be helped. We were determined to do our best in the new place as a family of 3. And I was a bit worried if my daughter, who had to suddenly change daycares, would fit in well. But now, every day, my daughter goes to daycare happily, even after the change. Seeing her make friends so easily in the new place, I was impressed. It seems that my worries about her fitting in were unnecessary. On the other hand, I was struggling to make mom friends at the new daycare. It seemed like I was the one who should have been worried. I was almost in despair at the towering wall before me, wondering if building relationships from scratch in an unknown place could be this hard. That's when Claire came to my rescue. Claire's daughter was the same age as mine, and they were in the same group. To me, someone who finds it hard to initiate conversations, Claire was like a savior. But, "Good morning, Matilda." "Good morning. Wow, you look fabulous in that outfit today." Claire was always wearing dazzling clothes. Not just that, she also carried a high-end designer bag. "Really? This is a new dress my husband bought for me." At first, we just made small talk, But gradually, Claire began to belittle me daily, one-upping me about education, her husband's income, children's activities, friends' professions, and more. With no other mom friends, I was becoming Claire's daily target, and I didn't know what to do. I was laughed at for my terrible outfits, or ridiculed. You carry the same bag all the time. Is that the only one you have? To be honest, it was a considerable strain. But time passed, and I couldn't confide in anyone. And today, Claire found me and approached me again. "Matilda, you look so casual again today," she said, laughing at me with a snort. Then, as if remembering, she asked, "So what does your husband do, Matilda?" "My husband is the president of a company that delivers car parts to factories," I was about to tell her. "At the factory?" when she interrupted. "Oh, factory work. That must be a low-income, tough job every day." Claire assumed it was factory work and cut me off. First of all, calling people working in factories low income was rather inappropriate, I thought. I really don't like Claire. And I was wondering why she always acted as if she was mocking people. According to what I heard, Claire is apparently the daughter of the daycare owner. And because of that, nobody dared to stand up to Claire. So she was free to do as she pleased. I used to think that I could endure the minor discomfort I felt, but Claire's harassment escalated, day by day, finally affecting my daughter as well. "Don't get close to Matilda's family. They're poor and don't earn much." That's what she spread around, isolating my daughter and me. She might have been going around telling the children, "You can't play with her." My daughter was always able to make friends with various children, but this time she couldn't, and she felt down. "Nobody wants to play with me anymore." When she said that, I was tormented by not knowing what to do to help her, even though I wanted to. I want to protect my daughter. However, with Claire doing whatever she wants to us and everyone avoiding us, what can I do? I was afraid to take action, thinking that if I sought help from teachers or other mothers, the situation might worsen. Above all, I was infuriated and felt pathetic that I could do nothing for my daughter on my own. At that time, there was one mother who talked to us without caring, but she too ended up being harassed by Claire. And the other mothers distanced themselves from us even more. I thought I shouldn't cause trouble to the other mothers, and I couldn't say anything. Meanwhile, taking advantage of my inability to do anything, Claire would daily taunt us. If it were just me, I could bear it, but I can't leave things as they are if it's affecting my daughter. It's a situation that must be dealt with as soon as possible. Finally, I consulted my husband about the incidents at daycare and the awkwardness that had arisen. He said, "It must have been hard, thank you for telling me," and suggested that we go pick her up together from now on. Indeed, going together does seem to ease the burden a bit. Although I felt bad for my busy husband, I couldn't thank him enough for creating time for us with a smile. "Matilda, you're taking on too much alone. You can rely on me and everyone around us." At those kind words, the tension I'd been feeling lately gave way, and tears flowed. The very next day, my husband and I went together to pick up our daughter. I wanted to avoid making our daughter feel uncomfortable, so I had told my husband that even if Claire said something, he should not argue back or raise his voice. "We're just going today to see what the situation is like. That's our feeling about it." Maybe just the fact that my husband is with me will change Claire's attitude. When we arrived at the daycare, as usual, Claire spotted me and made a sarcastic comment. "Well, your husband is with you today. He must have a lot of free time." She didn't care that my husband was right next to me. The mothers and teachers around us looked taken aback by the scene. Then Claire abruptly started talking about herself. "I live in a different world than people like you." Apparently, Claire was raised by strict parents and had been treated with great care since she was a child. She had been sternly disciplined to choose friends and lovers based on education and income. "That's why I find people like you utterly displeasing. She should just leave us alone if that's the case." Just as I was thinking that, the principal, looking pale, came over, as if he had been called by someone. If Claire's mother is the owner, could the principal be a relative? "Claire, stop it." Even when the principal tried to calm her, Claire's harassment didn't stop. "Why do I have to be in the same daycare as these people? I want them out." Once again, she berated us, saying my clothes were shabby or that my husband's job was in low-skilled jobs, hurling insults one after another. It was at that moment when my husband could no longer endure it and was about to speak to Claire. Matilda's husband is the president of that company. When the principal announced that, Claire's face froze. And then my husband took out his business card and politely greeted Claire. Thank you for always taking care of my wife and daughter. Receiving the business card, Claire seemed to panic more, and hurriedly left the scene. I'm sorry, I wish I had noticed sooner. The principal said that. The principal told us that she was Claire's aunt. Claire had mentioned it earlier, and she confirmed that they came from a family that always valued titles. I was shocked by the sudden turn of events, but I felt genuinely relieved, thinking that the misunderstanding had been cleared up and that I wouldn't be criticized anymore. After a while, my daughter came running towards us from the school building, with a big smile on her face. Mama, Pop-Up's picking me up today too! She said that and jumped into our arms. Our daughter seemed very happy that both of us had come to pick her up. Seeing her smile, I thought that I wanted her to always be smiling. I wonder if we can get along well with everyone from now on. I wish I had talked to my husband sooner, I think now. And then the three of us held hands and went home. She used to tell me what happened at daycare on the way home, but she hasn't talked much about it lately. When we got home, our daughter said softly, I wonder if my friends will play with me again if I call them. Hugging her after hearing that, I apologized. I'm sorry I made you feel sad. I feel worthless that I couldn't do anything for her sooner. Don't hesitate to tell me if you need help, my husband said, as if he knew what I was feeling. I thought about how much I was being supported by the two of them, and I cried. Since then, Claire hasn't been as assertive as before, and we've been living a peaceful daily life. Since that day, Claire seems to have been looked at coldly by those around her, and she appears uncomfortable. Matilda, good morning. Good morning. Since the harassment stopped, more mothers have been talking to me, and now I have made a lot of mom friends. I have been longing for these days, but I still want to get along with everyone. I mustered up the courage to talk to Claire. Claire, good morning. At this, Claire's eyes widened in surprise for a moment before she replied in a small voice. Good morning. There was a reason I wanted to talk to her this way. I heard from the teacher that my daughter and Claire's daughter often play together. Indeed, when my daughter comes home, she often tells me about playing and talking with her. And just the other day, she was invited to play at her house. I've heard that your daughter has been kind to mine. Thank you. Saying this, Claire looked down a little. May we come to your house to play sometime? I asked hesitantly, wondering if we might be refused. Then Claire slowly raised her face and said, My daughter invited you, so we are looking forward to it. And she smiled a little. I'm sorry for all the terrible things I've said before. I was very happy that Claire apologized and gladly accepted my daughter's invitation to play. With the help of our daughters, I was able to resolve the hard feelings with Claire. Since coming to the new daycare, I had been constantly troubled, but now my daughter and I are enjoying ourselves. Since that day, my husband has been picking up our daughter every day, except when he really can't. And she is delighted with that. On the way home, our daughter cheerfully tells us about her day, and we walk slowly while discussing things like, what would you like for dinner tonight? I want these days to continue forever. Thinking this, the three of us walk home, happily holding hands.